Hi, my name is John Lindau, and I'm going to be explaining two problems that have affected my life. One is drinking water, and secondly is wearing short sleeve t-shirts. Now, both of these topics are probably very random to most of the viewers, but they have affected me greatly. The agenda for today's presentation will be going over each of the topics, drinking water and short sleeve t-shirts, and explaining the effects of each of these problems, how I overcame each of the problems, and the way I live today. So first, I'm going to talk about drinking water. And this is something that I never really thought about on a daily basis of, oh, I should be drinking a lot more water, until I came back from a road trip from my uncle's house, and then later was having a little bit of heart issues. My heart was racing. I was feeling numb throughout my body, and it just didn't feel right. So I called my mom, as any guy would do, and she told me that you're just fine, you're just freaking yourself out, and I probably was, but I still was feeling way different than I ever had. So, as a responsible young man, I took it in my hands to take myself to the hospital, and after many hours, I think it was like 3 hours of tests, and then they had to go run it through some scanner or whatever. They came back and told me that I was severely dehydrated. And so after I got out of the hospital, I made sure from that day on that I was never going to be dehydrated like that again. And by doing so, I bought some waters and kept on drinking water. Probably 4 bottles a day was my goal, just so that I could keep my levels in good shape. So next I'm going to talk about why wearing t-shirts was a big problem of mine when I was younger. So when I was born with a condition called arthrogryposis, which is pretty much my arms are kind of bent like this and didn't have much strength, and it kind of looked different, very different than the normal kid. So, as a young kid, people are curious, and that's fine. A bunch of kids would ask me, like, why does your arms look like that and stuff? And I would explain it, but it kind of got old. So I just thought, I'm gonna wear long sleeve t-shirts so that no one would bother me. And I did this probably up till 8th grade, until I realized, who cares? And I just felt free. So I didn't really need to worry about that anymore. So started mixing t-shirts into my outfits, and yeah. Both of these problems have honestly affected me in a great way, both different, very different from each other, and super small problems that people would look at and just kind of laugh, are you serious? But in my life, these have affected me greatly. Water, who would even think of worrying about how much water that they've been drinking at 18 years old, or wearing t-shirts going to school? It just kind of put into perspective how different these things are. And I think that I've learned, no matter how big or small the problem is, it can affect the way that you live your life greatly. And honestly, if these problems hadn't come up, I would be living a totally different life. I would be in a shell, and I would not be in a good shape at all. So thank you.